Hey, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. My name is John. In my last video, I talked about having high function depression. And in order to cope with my depression, I use alcohol and weed. And in this video, I want to share my experience on why alcohol and weed are not the best way obviously, alcohol and weed are not good for your body, especially you want to use it as way to cope with your depression. At first, it will actually help. I think a lot of people will say that, well, alcohol and weed are not going to help you with depression, but that's the reason why a lot of people are addicted to alcohol and weed, because it did help me initially. But when you start become dependent on alcohol and weed for your depression, it's not good for long term. And then I think everyone heard it. It's kind of a cliche now and say that night. When you become dependent on alcohol and weed, it makes you normal as your baseline. Actually, I take it back. It make you high, you're normal. So if you don't have alcohol or weed, your baseline is lower and you feel you are missing out on something. So therefore you need either alcohol or weed to get back to your normal baseline. So therefore now you start either drinking or get high just to be normal. And that's the issue with depending on weed and alcohol long term. And that's what I want to talk about in this video. Why alcohol? In California, when I went to university, I went to UCLA. So there is a drinking culture at UCLA. I think like everyone else, we drink to socialize and also take the stress off. I entered UCLA as a biochem major, so there's a lot of work. And I don't want to say that we drink every weekend, but we technically did drink every weekend. We drink to take stress off at the same time to socialize. Now it's true. Like alcohol is like liquid courage, and you do drink to socialize, talk to girls. And I think after I graduate, I got carried that to my 20s, especially early 20s and mid 20s. I do go out, drink, clubbing, party with my friends and my cousin only on Friday and Saturday, and maybe occasionally on the weekday, fortnight, holiday or birthday party, But I start noticing the side effect of alcohol, especially on my body, when I do it long term. And this is why I stopped drinking alcohol as a dependent, as a cope for my depression, because I am aware of the negative effect of alcohol. I work in healthcare, so I know the negative effect of alcohol long term. But when you're in your 20s, I don't know. I don't want to say that I was dumb and stupid and just want to have fun, but I did have fun in my 20s, drinking a lot. And looking back now, I did drink a lot. Even though I didn't get drunk when I brown out, wasted, or black out, but I did get a good buzz. And even though I did have good buzz every weekend, that's not good for my body. My weight yo-yo. I get fat, then I lose the weight, then I get fat again from drinking, and then just overeating from the hungover. It's not. I think there's a good time, but at the same time, the next day it's just bad. And then I'm pretty sure you share the same experience. You drink, next day you get a hangover, and you would say, "I will never drink again." And you still drink again and you drink again the next week. And that's what my life was in my 20s. I drink with my friends and cousin, and then I say to myself, I won't drink again. Next week, I drink again. And that lifestyle keep on repeating, and I recognize, hey, I need to stop this. And that's why I stopped drinking. I think when I get to my late 20s, I think 28, 29, that's when I kind of slowed down, take a break from all the drinking. It wasn't until the pandemic and lockdown that I switched from alcohol to weed. Why weed? During the pandemic lockdown, there's a lot of things going on. My grandma passed away. My dad got more sick, got diagnosed Parkinson, and then it's a lot on top of my depression. So mind you, at this point, I already like took a step back from alcohol. I was aware of the negative effect of alcohol to my body. So I say, hey Nate, should be a better way to handle all this without drinking every weekend to take a stress off. So that's weed. During this time, weed became more accessible. I don't smoke, but I do edible. And before, right, edible is very different compared to now. In order to do edible, you have to actually, I don't know, there's a lot of shady way to get edible back then. But now, you could just go to a store, get a pack. Let's say that gummy, and then there's different way to get edible now and with more accurate of measurement. So during that time, during the pandemic lockdown, I usually only get like 2.5 to 5 milligram edible, and then just chill. So that 2.5 to 5 milligram edible that I take every weekend, especially on Friday and Saturday to chill. You know how this story go? It's supposed to be Friday, Saturday, then somehow go to Thursday, Sunday, and then when you take an edible, when something start out as 1 or 2 days, became weekly, daily, you become a stoner, you know? And then mind you, with the pandemic lockdown, I'm just stuck inside with my parents and with all the stress, and just I need to cancel all this noise. I want to be alone. I want to be in my bed, chilling, listen to music, have good laugh at nighttime. So I just take an edible, and then from 2.5 to 5 milligram to 10 milligram, and the dose keep on going up. I think I start realize it become an issue when I start taking 50 milligram, and that's when I say, hey, Nate, this is a lot, and my tolerance went up too high, and therefore I need to take a step back. And it's been, what, 5 years since I've been back and forth with edible. This year, last year, I took a step back with edible. I went cold turkey. Maybe after half a year, I did take a 2.5 to 5 milligram of edible for holiday and festival. But other than that, I didn't really touch edible last year. The main lesson that I learned from the last decade with alcohol and weed is that, yes, it's fun and exciting and it's chill when you begin with drinking alcohol and getting high with edible and weed. But when those became your normal, you raise your baseline to those level, and when you don't have alcohol and weed anymore, you feel like you are missing something. I don't know if this get across to you, but if you do drink a lot, or you depend on weed and smoke or take an edible, you know that night when you go through kind of withdrawal and you don't have it for a while, especially when I went cold turkey, if your days feel like, I won't say numb, but feel like they are missing something, it's feel not the same. You feel like you need the alcohol, you feel you need weed to get back to just being normal. And that's the main issue. Your normal should not be with alcohol and weed. Your normal should be just a normal day without any stimuli, without any vices. And that's what the main thing I want to get across to you who are watching right now. You don't need drugs, alcohol, or any vices to make your day normal. Your day should be normal. Like, just that day gonna be tough, that day gonna be good, that day gonna be bad, but overall, your day should be, you want to aim, like personally right now, this year, I want to aim that my day should be like normal, boring day. That day, that can be very boring, and I just need to figure out what can I do to make it more exciting. Talk to my friend, listen to music, check out a new thing on internet, you know. But if my day is just at this point, and if I just hang out with friends, it will go up. But then if all my day is gonna be up here, ooh, without the stimulant, it's gonna suck. And therefore, that's what I want to get across to you. Try to avoid depending or trying to cope with alcohol and weed and make that your normal. Don't do it. I learned that the hard way, and I don't want you to spend the next decade trying to figure this out, because that's what I did. I spent, I always say, almost 15 years to trying to figure to learn that, hey, like, alcohol and weed is not a good way to it's not a good way to cope with depression and try to like maintain have a good mood, you know. Hey, I'm talking to you. I want to ask you this question. If you are drinking or if you're taking weed as edible or smoke, ask yourself this question: do I need this to be normal? Do I need to take this every day to be fine, to feel happy? Can't answer that question because I don't know you, but you have to ask, look at your life and see how alcohol and weed affect you, and hopefully you could recognize that occasionally alcohol and weed can have a good impact on your life socially and mentally. But if you depend on it on long term just to be normal, it's not a good thing. And that's why I want to get across to you right now. Because for me, I feel like I'm still kind of struggle a little bit with alcohol and weed, even though I could go cold turkey for half a year without alcohol and weed, which I did for past years. But I know that right now, especially for this year, I will avoid alcohol unless maybe on special occasion, but I want to limit myself. I've been limiting myself to only 3 drinks, maybe 5 drinks on a special holiday. But overall, if I do drink alcohol, I only do like 2 or 3 drinks max. And for this year, the only time I'm gonna drink alcohol again is gonna be for festival, which is my next festival is Coachella, which is in April. So from January to April, I'm not gonna drink, I'm not gonna take an edible, nothing. Personally, if you're in your 20s, it's okay to experience, enjoy your life, have fun, and experience new things, you know, with alcohol and weed in your 20s. But when you recognize that alcohol or weed kind of like become your normal, and you do it every single day, every week, and you need it to maintain your normalcy or to be normal, that's an issue. And I'm very sure that you watching this, when I have an issue in the past, I used to watch videos, YouTube video, social media, online content about having issue with alcohol and weed. And I try to tell myself, hey, Knight, we recognize the issue. How do we stop it? And the way I stop with alcohol and weed is just that, one is that I'm getting older. My body is not the way it used to be. So like before with alcohol, right, I could consider myself a tank and I could drink a lot. But when you get older, your tolerance went down. And I think it became an issue for me when in my mid-20s or at late 20s. That's why I stopped drinking alcohol, because I feel it more. So therefore, I recognize the negative effect. And at the same time, I watch a lot of YouTube content and a lot of experience of online creator talking about their issue with alcohol and weed. And that's why it helped me to understand and reflect on my own experience and make me realize that I don't need alcohol and weed to deal with my depression or to boost my mood, to make myself happier. because there's a better way to make myself happier. I don't know what that way is for you. Personally, for me, it's just with friends and family, and you don't always need to drink. Like, for example, when I went out with my cousin this last weekend, we just chill. Maybe we drank some coffee, tea. We went and played pool and just chill and talk about movie, TV show, without alcohol, without any stimulant, without getting high. There's many ways for you to kind of improve your mood and experience life without depending on vices. And that's my experience. And I think for you who are watching right now, I recommend you watch more content online and learn from other creators on their issue with alcohol and weed. Maybe you will get more ideas on how to improve your life. But for me, right now, I'm just trying to for me, right now, I'm trying to create a system where I have a good, healthy relationship with alcohol and weed. Because right now, I don't want to overdrink, but at the same time, I feel like I'm right now, I just want to make sure that if I do drink, I limit myself to 2 or 3 drinks, maybe 5 on special occasion where everyone get drunk, like wedding. And for weed, I probably limit myself to 2.5 to 5 milligram, and only on special occasion, like festival. I'm not gonna get high by myself in my room and chilling, Those days are over for me. And that's all. And I hope you're doing well. Take care of yourself, and I will see you again on the next video. Let me know what your thought on alcohol and weed down below in the comment. Take care of yourself, and I will see you again. Bye.